Welcome to Game Beaters.
What's up, y'all?
What's happening?
This is a new format we're going to try. We're going to try reviewing some movies.
It's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Indeed, sounds good.
Indeed.
And the first one we're going to start with is Avengers.
Everybody loves Avengers.
I thought we were going to do Legend of Billie Jean.
Oh, shit.
Man, you
Damn it.
guys!
Damn it.
Anyway, Infinity War.
All right, so spoiler-free first.
That's right, we don't want to...
What do you guys think of the movie?
I liked the pace of it. I liked how it started right at the very beginning. Fight scenes were great.
Yes.
You know?
It's hard to elaborate on it.
All of the primary players got decent fight scenes.
I thought it was a great movie overall. I mean, from start, it was just action. Go, go, go. And all the characters, too, they had a lot of good action fight scenes. When Thor met Star-Lord, I liked that dialogue there. I thought that was pretty funny.
Sure. Almost spoiler territory.
Yes, almost. I was.
Spoiler, folks. Thor and Star-Lord are in this movie.
They have a conversation.
I almost slammed on that brake. I thought Thanos was a badass, and I'm not like you guys. I wasn't a big into comic books and stuff, but I've always liked the cartoons and movies and shit. But if you don't know the whole storyline with the comic books and stuff, I mean, you watch the Marvel movies and stuff. It's not hard to follow.
Yeah.
So I think it's badass. I would definitely go see it if I were you.
I've enjoyed it. I enjoyed myself. There wasn't a time where I thought there was a lull in the movie.
No.
The cinematography was great. There was a lot of really cool framing and stuff. But, it didn't follow the comic book totally. It actually got away from it a lot. But they did it in such a satisfying way that you'd still enjoy it. Yeah.
Like if the comic book would have been, if the comic book series would have been written today, it'd probably more mirror, these movies more than it would have been back in the day.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, the Infinity series and the books were groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, went across almost every part of the universe.
Right.
And, they didn't really have, they tried to do something like that with Secret Wars, and it,
yeah, Secret Wars was their first big crossover.
Right, and it was marginally successful, I guess.
Yeah.
It depended on which books you were into, and, things like that. It affected different characters differently, but...
Secret Wars was like Marvel's first big crossover that had, like, all the characters coming together to fight a big war.
Sweet.
It was in the 80s. The Thanos story was like 91, 92, somewhere in there. It's most famous because Spider-Man got his black costume, and that's where Venom came from. That's what Secret Wars is from. So, which they did not do in the movie at all. And they're not doing it again, apparently, with this new Venom.
Did you notice, though, when the creatures were fighting Wakanda, they had a bit of a Venom kind of look to them.
The eyes.
They had a bit of a symbiote kind of look.
I mean, they did cut some stuff out, but it's still fun to watch. Let's get into spoiler territory.
Okay.
What was your favorite thing about the movie?
I really liked what Evil Dan was saying there. The whole Thor meeting Guardians little arc there was great.
It was dope.
I liked that the villain actually wins.
Yeah.
You don't hardly ever see that in superhero movies.
No.
I can't recall one.
People say it's akin to Empire Strikes Back because
I could see that.
they're kind of the dark side kind of wins that one.
Yeah.
Luke's hurt and everybody's hurting, and Han is frozen carbonite. And it just doesn't look good,
No.
Yeah.
So this is kind of their Empire Strikes Back.
Right. It's a good metaphor.
And then right there at the end, you could kind of, in some sense, you could kind of feel where Thanos was coming from as far as what his mission was, to kill half the universe.
Mm-hmm.
You could kind of get the feeling that he felt that it was a huge price that he paid, but that he was righteous in what he was trying to do,
right?
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
I could see really the love that he had for Gamora.
Oh, yeah.
I could. I could see really that he cared for her.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only way he would have gotten the Soul Stone, is if he actually did love her when he, threw her off the cliff.
Yep.
Right.
That sucked.
When she got thrown off the cliff?
Yeah,
she dies.
Oh, shit.
So, there were some pretty great one-liners. I kind of like that idea with the Hulk, where he sums up with the Hulk part of it, and he got his brains bashed in so much that he was just like, nope, I may be a part of you, Bruce Banner, but you're Bruce right now because I don't want any part of this shit. You know?
But Bruce handled it well. I mean, like, it wasn't like he was just sitting by the sidelines like, I suck now.
Right.
Like,
he wanted to be a part of it still.
Yeah.
He was going to do what he had to do to help.
I mean, they had him in that, the Iron Hulk, which they kind of, you saw that in the trailers, but you didn't know who was driving it, and it makes sense.
I loved when Thor got his new,
I thought you were going to say when Thor got his ass kicked.
his new hammer axe,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
I loved that because he was kicking everybody's ass.
And Groot was part of that, which was really cool.
Yes.
Or as he referred to him as
Groot
Tree.
was hilarious. Yeah.
Like, here's my friend Tree.
I thought it was hilarious when Gamora and friggin' Quill were sharing a moment, and Drax was he's just sitting there eating.
Right.
He's like, oh, how long you been there? He's like, about an hour.
I'm moving so slow you can't even see it.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that. You go through all the final credits, to get to the scene and all that. And it's, most movies have like a big long soundtrack of songs.
Mm-hmm.
Like this one's got like the Black Panther theme and then the Rubber Band Man tune, and that's it. Those are the only tunes that are credited in the entire movie. And
Man,
it's like,
that got me because the first time I went to see the movie, I was like, oh, they're rolling the song credits now. I still have time to go pee. And I ran to the bathroom, and I went pee, and I came back, and I was like, I heard, and I'm running into the theater, and I'm like, everybody's like, oh! And I walk in, and I'm like, what happened? What happened? And you guys were just like,
real
see it again.
It's a real pisser.
I also like that Captain America is more of a badass now. He's not as the nice guy anymore. He doesn't I don't know, when he first was Captain America, he kind of reminded me of John Cena. Mm-hmm. How John Cena is, Mr. Superhero, basically.
Nice guy.
Yeah, he's kind of shed away.
Yeah, Captain America, now he's kind of dark.
I mean, his mission is always to do what's right.
He's seen some
So that's
shit now.
even though he's dark, it's like he still wants to maintain to do what's right, no matter what that is. On his side, breaking the law was the right thing to do to down that dark hole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is kind of why Thanos is such a good character, I think, because he also thinks what he's doing is right. And
True.
It makes it way more interesting that way.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he's not doing it for world domination and try to amass all these riches, and it's not like a Lex Luthor type thing. It's more of he considers himself more benevolent or something.
Yeah. When I first seen it, I was like, "Oh, Thanos, you did the wrong thing, fucking with the Hulk." And the Hulk just started. He got his ass kicked.
Yeah,
he started getting destroyed. I'm like, "Come on, Hulk."
Yeah,
that was and I don't know, the whole Hulk being a pussy, that kind of disappointing.
I kind of thought that like the children of Thanos, kind of how some of them died.
Dude, they were badass.
Were kind of like really the guy who had Doctor Strange on the spaceship. He dies by them throwing a hole in the ship. Like they don't plan for that contingency. I mean, come on now,
dude. After he's beating their asses. I mean, everything they did to him when they're on Earth, and you couldn't touch that little dude.
Oh, right. People on the internet are saying, well, with this Infinity Gauntlet, instead of killing everybody, or half the population of everybody, why doesn't he just create more resources? And to that, it's like, well, that's true, but why he doesn't create more resources is, A, he's hell-bent on doing what he wants to do, which is kill half the population. It's the way he sees it as an out. And B, if you double up those resources, how many times is he going to have to double up the resources every time? Planets will get overgrown, overpopulated. Mm. Even if he has more resources, I think the planet's double population, triple population.
Yeah.
I'm also not so. I'm having a hard time making the connect of how are you going to use those stones to just create resources? I mean, you're not going to.
He can change reality, right? So.
Okay, I suppose. But it's not like a Midas touch or anything. It's not like he can just touch something and it turns to gold or something like that,
Yeah, I mean, he can create gold, but then what's the value of gold once you start creating a bunch of gold?
Yeah, you can.
But they're saying, create a bunch of food so there's no famine. And it's like, Well, then what are you doing? Like,
He can do almost anything with that shit.
I'm not arguing for genocide.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
I mean, I'd be happy with like an infinity spatula, if he's there, cooking up some, some bok choy or what have you.
Six gems on the
He's
spatula.
cooking up some fried rice for the world and whatnot, I'm all about that. I just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that.
Right.
So what about worst parts? Were there any parts you didn't like?
There were a couple lines that I kind of thought were a bit hokey, like Black Panther looks at old Steve Rogers like, get this man a shield. Like, come on, man. I would have liked a bit more at the end for it to show a little more of the gravity of what actually happened. Half the universe is now faded away. I would have liked to seen a little more of that, to been able to
to catch the full grasp.
Yeah, get a little bit more of the gravity of what's actually happened.
Yeah, I don't think that was conveyed very well because
Not really, no.
I remember him asking me after the movie, like, what happened for sure? He wasn't quite sure.
Yeah.
And it's like, they don't really explain it unless you know from the comics. And I can see that. It's just like, what, did he get rid of a couple superheroes, or did they just ash up, or what? One of my things about it was, for some reason, every line Scarlett Johansson delivered, I was like, what is wrong with her? Like, she's talking weird. Like, did they not allow her to take a shit on the set? And she was holding it in the whole time?
I didn't notice that.
I think watching it made me wish they would have utilized Scarlet Witch more.
Throughout the other Marvel movies? Or?
Yeah, like her power set is such that, man, she could have really done some real...
It's kind of like that scene where she comes down and she, like, takes out a whole horde of people, a whole horde of those aliens, and then they're like, why wasn't she down here this whole time?
Yeah.
And I'm not dissing Scarlett Johansson. I dig her work and everything. You know, but it was weird. I thought some of her lines in this movie were weird.
Maybe she was like supposed to be hardened now.
Yeah, I thought that's kind of what she was going for.
Yeah.
It just seemed like that scene where Bruce Banner finally walks back in and they look at each other and one of the dudes is like, awkward. That's kind of what it,
When Thanos' children were fighting, all of them on Earth with Doctor Strange and Iron Man and Spider-Man, that dude was kicking their asses. I'm like, nothing they did. And Iron Man, Stark was trying to be all snarky and fucking condescending and everything. I'm like, dude, you shouldn't be joking with this motherfucker. He's beating your ass.
Right.
It just seemed like they were fucking weak against him.
Yeah.
And you're not used to seeing the Avengers being that weak.
Yeah, you're dealing with an alien race who's taken out hundreds of planets already. This is like nothing for them. They've dealt with other planets' heroes and whatever.
And I gotta say, that end got me. That end got me. The first time I seen it, I'm like, my jaw was dropping. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, I think that half the deaths are going to be... I think everyone that ashed away is going to be wished back. Spoilers if you haven't read the comics, but in the comics, Nebula steals the gauntlet from Thanos. She reverses his take half of every life. All those people are restored. All those heroes and people and aliens and whatever, they're all restored. But then she goes on a tirade because she's kind of crazy too,
Yeah.
I could see them getting away from the Nebula part of it. I could see maybe them making Captain Marvel into like the ultimate, just the ultimate female badass. Yeah. Maybe she's the one that comes in, does what needs to happen to reverse everything.
Yeah, because they're not going to bring out... Okay, so like in the comics, the whole reason he does this is because he's trying to like court death. Thanos is trying to court death. He's in love with death. And death is a character, right? So he's trying to court her and he's trying to impress her. And he's like giving her half the deaths, but keeping up half the things alive so that she keeps having souls to reap. And she's not impressed.
Hard to impress death. Most people die trying to impress death.
Yeah.
Doesn't really work out. I think this review might be impressing death.
Oh, God. Maybe. Dying up here. I'm dying.
somewhere Death's out there watching this on a laptop or something like, yeah, these motherfuckers are getting it.
Wow, look at that.
They're really killing it.
I got the
yeah, they just stray away from the comics. And he even fights the universe. He fights like every being, and he just takes everything down until there's nothing left. So I imagine they're going to stray from the comics. I think you're right.
There's one thing I didn't understand. Okay, you know, remember when Thor? It looks like he hits the glove or whatever, and it shows it all like destroyed or something.
Yeah.
Was that real?
I don't think Thor hit him in the chest.
Yeah, okay.
And then he snapped his fingers.
Yeah, okay.
Why Thor didn't just try to cut his hand off?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Then there wouldn't be another movie, I guess.
I guess.
And then there was another part when, I don't know what was Thanos like, was he in a trance or something? Because he was like, he seen I think the little girl sitting there, and then he looked down at his hand and he didn't have the glove on his hand.
Right.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, I think he went into the Soul Stone and met with her.
Oh.
She was in there probably because
Okay.
she became part of it when he sacrificed her.
Okay.
That was my thought. And then the gauntlet being destroyed, yeah, I don't know if that's just because there was so much power welded at once that it kind of messed up the gauntlet. Because I saw when he was like relaxing after his hard day's work at the end, the gauntlet was still messed up. So,
Yeah.
final thoughts?
I think it's a great movie, even if you don't know the whole story. If you've watched the Marvel movies, all of them,
Yeah.
I think you can follow it pretty easily.
Right. I don't think it could stand alone. Like, I don't think you can just be like, I'm going to go see a summer movie and never have watched a Marvel movie and then seen this.
Oh, right, yeah,
Like,
you gotta watch, yeah.
you might be a little more confused.
Yeah.
I did a good job of kind of tying up all of the current movies. Originally, I thought they were completely resetting everything,
Mm-hmm.
but now it's not. I know that might not necessarily be the case
No.
Right.
with everything.
Yeah, because they're already going to make a Spider-Man. They've already filming a Spider-Man sequel. Guardians of the Galaxy have a sequel set, and then that Captain Marvel movie is supposed to come out like a few months before the new Avengers, but it's like supposed to take place in the 80s, I think, 80s or 90s.
Huh.
I heard something about they were doing a spectacular Spider-Man with that cat from Maze Runner.
Oh,
You heard anything about that?
No, I
the
haven't.
main one?
Thomas. The guy who plays Thomas.
Is he gonna play Spider-Man?
That's what I hear. That's.
Motherfuckers don't play Spider-Man, man.
But I mean, in the comics, Spectacular
Oh, I don't
Spider-Man was
know.
always kind of a second run
Oh.
Yeah,
kind of thing. It was kind of like,
it wasn't the main story. It was
Right, it
always
was like-
these side
it
stories.
was like, all right, so all that shit happened during the weekend. An Amazing Spider-Man. This happened on Wednesday. When I went to go get some tacos, and this guy tried to come in to rob the taco stand or
So
something.
he's pretty much like generic Spider-Man.
It was kind of a generic title. It was a little cheaper, I think.
Yeah, all the starting artists and stuff were in there.
Was he like the liquor company Spider-Man? That didn't talk. Man, that was the dumbest Spider-Man ever.
Oh,
And his
man.
web. That was so.
It was weak, but it was for like
It was, yeah.
3-year-olds.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Oh, I got one thing. How come Ant-Man wasn't in it?
Because he's filming Ant-Man.
They briefly touched on that. They said that him and Hawkeye were, because of the accords that after Civil War, I think it was,
Oh.
that were signed or whatever, they basically said, well, we got families.
Oh, right.
We don't,
Yes.
we don't want to be part of this.
Oh, they did say Luke, right? Yeah.
You see that Ant-Man movie poster?
I did.
That was great. That was one of the greatest movie posters I've ever
It's
seen.
just a giant white poster with a tiny little Ant-Man and Wasp in the middle.
What was this at?
It was at the theater.
Oh, was it?
It's like right there by the concession.
I've probably seen it. Just didn't.
Oh, it's a great one.
I bet.
I had to actively look for it because you mentioned on a Game Beaters episode to look for it, and so I did. All right, I think that's it then, huh?
Yeah.
We about covered it.
Okay.
Go see it.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
No.
Hit that like, subscribe,
Now.
stuff. And
Go see it, then
Appreciate
come back
the
and come
love.
see this.
That's right. Ah.
All right, thanks, folks.
Yep.
Thank you for watching. If you dig what you saw, please tickle that like button. You can ring that bell to be notified every time a new episode is uploaded. If you have any questions, requests, or opinions, please leave that down below in the comments. New videos every Tuesday and Friday. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel. We appreciate you very much, and see you soon.